Hey, it's Rick again with another mildly interesting workflow video. So when we last left off, I just recreated my pattern, or some of my pattern, or my layout inside of Flash. And now I need to kind of finish up that process. So my goal today is to create the sectional piece right here. Okay, so this is just a JPEG from Photoshop. So I need to kind of rebuild from here. So I'm just going to actually turn the JPEG into a symbol, and we'll call it section. Okay, and then we'll go inside here, and we'll create a few layers. All right, so there we go. We got this guy. Okay, so first thing, we need our header, right? And so for that, I want to I'm going to make a text box here, getting all the sizes right, and it doesn't really matter what it says right now. Let me double click that. There we go. And actually, we're going to make it big, just like that. So not the same size as Photoshop. The kerning was different in Photoshop. So the spacing of the letters. But there we go. Something like that. It doesn't have to be perfect. So you can see, I'll bring over my properties panel here. I'll just keep it classic. Dynamic is good. And we'll give it the name of header text. So one of the things I have to keep in mind while building out my layout is how I'm gonna code it. I'm going to do the back end, the coding. So on my header, so I want that symbol right there, right? Which is that guy. Only we want him way bigger. Actually, it's probably going to be easier just to size it this way. Right there. Anyway, so as I'm building this, I'm thinking about kind of how I'm going to put this together inside of the code, right? So what I'm going to want to do is probably edit these in Flash, or with the code. You know, I'll change what it says here and here. Probably add the glow after, right? So right now we just have that. We need a nav bar. Right. So with the nav bar, right here, we've got our navigation stuff. I'm going to have an empty movie clip, and I'll make a button, right? And then I will fill the empty movie clip with the buttons, and that way I can space it with the code and kind of get that all working together. So it wouldn't really make sense for me to go through and make a, write in text, a blog about resume, doing each one of those things, because it's not really how I'm going to make it work with the code, right? So really right now, how do I do that? Right. So I would kind of find out where I want this to be, right? And doesn't even really matter. And then nav bar. I make that go in here, and we actually don't even need the symbol. I suppose there's a different way I could have done it, but there you go. So now I have this kind of box right there. Not even, it's an empty movie clip. And then I want to name it with my properties yet again, just in case I have to manipulate it later. Right. So I've got that. I do need to make the button, right? So there are different ways to do that. But what I'll do is make this smaller, probably 18. Here, straight. Probably single line. Not selectable. Okay, so contact. Take that down to 0. Maybe, I don't know, 2. Not changing anything. So see how the spacing of letters compare. Just change that right here. So maybe 3. Not quite the same, but close. That's fine though. Then I'll turn that into a symbol, and we will call it a nav button. Right. And then all I need to do, get my properties and then change it to a button. Right. So I go into that. I don't care about the over or down. Really, I just want the hit. I want a hit box. So and I don't know, this might not even be the way I want to do it using the code. We'll see. Because whoops. Get that aligned. Go over here. Like that. Then I don't even need that. Whoops. Don't need this guy on the stage anymore. He's just in my library. Alright, so I've I made the button that'll fill out in here. I have the little holder. I have these guys. Next up I need that line, right? So let's make a line. Probably go with a 2. No cap. Green is fine for now. We're going to keep it green. So I draw out my line about like that. About there. And then my color is left here. Go with linear gradient. Make you white. And oh, what have I done? Oh, okay, there we go. So I've got my line there. Let's move this to this side. Okay, good. Up next, let's make our line here. So with this line, whenever I can reuse a graphic or an asset, I will. So we'll turn this into a symbol. We'll call it faded line. Yeah, something like that. And I'm gonna copy it, paste it, and then we're gonna shrink it. Rotate it, maybe. It's hard to work with lines sometimes. Maybe a little longer. Put it over here. And actually, let me it'll be a little easier to see with the black. So a little longer. Just move it into place. About like that, that's fine. So it's kind of hard to see what I'm doing on top of my my JPEG here. So what I'll do is a little trick I like to use is I'll just fade it a little bit using some just a shape here like that. So now it won't be as bright. That way I can see my stuff on top of it. So I'm going to take this line, put it on its own layer up here. And then what I want to do is I'm going to make a symbol out of that. And we'll call that scroller, like that. And let's go into scroller. So we have our track, and then we need our thumb. If I can spell. Thumb. There we go. So track, right there. He needs a name of track. Good. Now I need a symbol of a little triangle here. So we got this guy. My options 3. That's fine. Like that. White. Good. Shrink it. Yeah, close enough. Right. Let's start them up at the top here. And we need to make a symbol out of that. Triangle. That's fine. And give this guy a name of thumb. Okay. So I'm already thinking of the code. I'm going to have a class, a scroller class, that's going to look for a track and a thumb inside of it. And actually I want to make sure that this is at the very top, and we might want to go right there. Good. So I've got that little thing going on. And then that's called scroller. Good. All right, now I need basically an empty movie clip for my content here. I'm just gonna do this again. Not quite big enough though. So these boxes are about 80 pixels. So 80, maybe a 20 gap would be 100, another 80, 20 gaps, so this would need about 200, like that. And I kind of position it where I'm going to want it. Doesn't really matter too much. I'm just trying to figure out kind of the relative spacing of everything. We'll go with right about there. Right, and then we'll just call this holder. Okay. And I don't need this shape in there. So it'll be right there. But what I do want is, so this would be my thumbs selector. Right. Is I need, actually before I do that, so I'm thinking I want one object. It's going to have a scroller, it's going to have the thumbs, it's going to be masked, all that stuff. So let's all put it into one symbol or one movie clip, right? So I'll take my holder. Actually, we'll just take everything here and we'll make a movie clip. We'll call it selected. There we go. Go inside here. We've got our scroller. Put on its own layer. Probably have it on the top. Scroll. This will be our holder. Right, and actually the holder needs a mask. And then we need a fade. So this will make more sense once I start coding it, but this holder is going to hold these thumbs and they're going to extend down for as long as I need. But I only want to show this area, so I'm going to have to mask my holder shape. Right, so making a mask, I'll just do simple. I usually make masks green. I don't know why, I just feel like, because I would never use that color, pretty much. So if it's green, I know that it's a big mask. And I only need it to go probably like that, right? And then I can just right click and make that a mask. Okay, so the holder will show just in that area, right, where my green shows, which I usually make invisible. But so there's my line. So it'll only show inside this box, whatever the holder is. Even if it's long, it'll go all the way down here. Doesn't matter, it'll only show it's green. So just to give an example here, we'll go into my holder. Whoops, came up. And I'll tell you what, we'll just make some boxes just for example. So I don't know how big that is. It's 90 by 90. Let's make it 80. Right, and right there. It's not going to be perfect, but right, and we'll do one more. So I've got all this stuff. See how far down it goes inside my holder. Go in here, and once I lock that up, you see where the mask cuts off, right? So right where that is, boom, cuts off everything that's in the holder area. So anyway, the fade right here, what I'm going to do, take a little square shape, probably right about here, like that. And we want to make it a linear gradient. And we want to go from black to black, like that. And then boom. Whoops. Thought I had a problem there. Right. Okay, good. So, use that guy. That way we get the fade out look. And actually I'm going to shrink that probably. I just want a little fade. I don't like that either. Okay, well. Okay, we got the fade and then we got the scroller. Right? So what happens is we get that sort of fade out effect. And the reason I did that, or the reason I want that there, is so that you know that there's more. It is kind of a subtle, I don't know, implication that there is more beyond there. That it's kind of fading out, but you know that there's more, so you can scroll down, right? So, but the fade is bothering me still. Not sure why. I just know it's bugging me. I think because the mask is cutting it off right there. So maybe if I get the fade above the mask, it won't bother me anymore. Yeah. About like that. And it only needs to be yay big. There we go. Anyway, so I might play with that, but there we go. We've got this, and then we'll just give this a name. Some selector. Good. Moving on. What else? We're going to reuse that triangle asset. Right here, we're going to have a next back kind of thing. So I made that triangle, grab it over here, make it a little bigger. One of the benefits of working with vectors is you can resize them without really worrying about it. So my triangle is not the exact same shape, but I don't really care, that's close enough. copy it and paste it. Put it right over here. Boom, just like that. Just like that. Good. So we have these two guys. We'll just align them to each other. Good. Name this guy back button. This guy move button. Or sorry, next button. That'll be better. Good. Now I need kind of a holder for that shape too. So again, it doesn't have to be exactly the same. You know, just close. Now that I'm doing it, I kind of want to make it exact. There we go. Okay, so I got that guy. Turn that into a shape. We'll just call that, you know, picture holder. Alright, and I'm actually going to align it with these guys. So I'm just going to align them to the middle and evenly distribute. There we go. I'm going to lock it up. Now I need this block of text, right? So here, just happen to know it's 12 pixels. This is all good. We want multi-line. Oh, whoops. I need a description. Naming layers helps you keep them straight. It's usually a pretty good idea. We can grab some Ipsum. So maybe it's taking its sweet time. There we go. We'll go out a little bit. Good, and I don't like the spacing, so I'm gonna drop that to 1. The whole thing should be actually 0. Moving down. Yeah, like that. Okay. All right, so I think we're pretty much good to go. Right, so I've got that part. Yeah. I don't need the guide here anymore, so we'll get rid of that. So that's all gone. Back to here. And everything's where I want it to be. Just like that, and we'll call this section. So now we've got our sliders, our section, and our background. Now the sliders need a little work too.